Hi everyone, my name is TENAXIS and I've climbed from Gold 5 to Plat 5 twice on Support Queue and Tank Queue using this guideline in Season 14 of Overwatch. Trying to break out of Gold, why don't you give these tips a chance? These are advices that have very little to do with mechanical skill. I don't want to be here and simply say aim better and hit more because honestly everyone knows that, and instead I want to focus more on your in-game behavior and instincts. These are tips that help me and hopefully you as well to play better, cleaner, and calmer. Tip number one, use the training room. Not just to improve your aim, it's more important to warm up that aim, get a feel for it again before you start grinding. Be one with the projectile, be one with your crosshair, your hero. If you drop by my stream at twitch.tv/TENAXIS, come check me out. I stream daily. You can see these tips in action next season as I try to climb to diamond. Every time I do a ranked stream, if I'm not in a ranked game, you probably see me in the training room just hitting targets or tracking robots. It's so important to not let your first ranked game be your warm-up game. You wanna enter hot so you can enter plat. Just make sure to not cheat yourself and use the right settings to warm up. For example, when I want to warm up my Zen, I do targets medium range because most of my targets will be at that distance and I'm trying to hit that small hitbox that is their head. When I want to warm up my Mauga or Rampamos, I generally do close range robots because most of my tracking will be up front in my face. Tip number 2, stick to your hero, avoid meta chasing. Pick a hero that you feel good with and focus on playing that hero as often as you can. Don't be tempted to swap mains depending on the current meta. When you focus on just one or two heroes, you can develop fantastic muscle memory with that hero. Then it becomes much easier to skill diff and develop your own strategies to counterplay your counter picks. You can definitely climb from being a specialized player. I've done it twice this season, as you can see here, bing and bang. And I've seen multiple players and friends find better success when they focus on just a single hero. Tip number 3. Don't judge another's pick, just trust your teammate and go. When your teammate pick a hero that you personally have a negative opinion on, just shut it. Keep it to yourself, focus on your game and play the match well. You don't know what hero is best for them, just like they don't know which hero is best for you. So just trust your teammates and play. Tip number 4. Trust your guts. Know when to swap and when to maintain that hero. Sometimes you are struggling with a counter pick or a certain matchup and you've reached that limit in that matchup, and if you feel that if you keep forcing this, you might just lose, then just swap. Just swap, bro. Swap to answer your bad matchup with your own answer. Don't be tempted by whatever chat suggests if you don't agree with that idea. Personally, for me, my biggest gripe is Genji. If the opponent Genji is being a pain in the ass for my Zen, my go-to plan is to just swap to Moira and just deny the Genji any inkling of fun. It's okay to play around your current limits. My aim now as Zen is definitely not up to par against a very good Genji. So if the Genji is very good, I'll just go to Moira and just counterplay that. On the flip side, if the Genji is weak and I feel like I can handle it or my teammates can handle it, then I don't swap and I maintain that Zen. Usually my cutoff for an immediate swap is about 80%. Anything less than 80%, I'll just forgo the ult and swap immediately because sometimes you just don't have the time to finish the ult. Anything above 80%, normally I'll try to get the ult out and then swap. Tip number 5. Be responsive and not reactive. Track the ult. Track the kill feed. Don't simply pop the Zen ult when the 76 ult. Take a split second to assess the situation. Who has ulted? Who's dead? Are we in the open? Is this the fight that wins the game? Is anyone still around for my ult to get value? Remember, respond, don't react. Tip number 6 is block and report. Do not get rage baited into typing either your opponents or your teammates. Just do not reply to chat. You are here to win and climb, and when you're typing, you're not playing, and therefore you are immediately losing. If the chat is not useful or hurtful and you are tempted to rage back, just don't. Just right click and block instead. Report if you have to and just resume playing. Tip number 7, accept the flames. This is pretty hard for a lot of us out there, even for myself, but you gotta learn to just accept the flame. I mean, take a moment and think about it. People do not flame good players, they only flame bad players. If you're getting flamed, chances are you are doing something possibly incorrect. If you're getting flamed, remember tip number 6, block and report, and then go back to tip number 5, which is to be responsive and not reactive. So respond to the flame. Reflect, ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing that's pissing this guy off? Am I dying too much? Am I push dumb as fuck? Am I throwing the game? If they ask you to swap to a hero, respond again. Don't be reactive. Is your hero the real problem here? If it's not your main, then consider what is the better hero. Go back to tip number 4 to trust your gut. Know when to swap and when to maintain. Just remember that players won't flame good players, only bad ones. Tip number 8, which I think is also equally important, is don't start a fire. If someone is playing poorly, again, just shut it. Keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. Flaming helps absolutely nobody. At worst, the player will just AFK in spawn, and any chance you have of winning is out of the window, kaput, down the drain, flush, recycle, and buried somewhere in a landfill forever. At best, they start arguing back and wasting the team's time typing. Just keep it quiet, ignore the stats, and focus on playing your best. You might just be able to squeeze out a win. Tip number 9, it's only over when it's over. Comebacks do happen. Being 0-2 and then winning 3-2 on the clash map happens. Enemy team gets cocky and then they make a misstep to allow you to squeeze the win. Happens. Don't give up before the game ends. Don't call in GG in all chat because that's also super cringe and doesn't help anyone. And lastly, unlucky streaks do happen. Just accept it, take a rest and try again. Sometimes it is what it is, boys. People do get unlucky. Watch any streamer. Sometimes some day is a bad day and they just go 0-4, 0-3 before they start getting hot. The idea here is to minimize your unlucky streak and maximize your lucky streak. When you do get incredibly unlucky and you're just losing back to back, just go back to tip number 5. Respond, don't react. Don't simply hit that requeue button. Sometimes you might be throwing from tilt. Just stop, swap games, swap modes, something. Just don't play another ranked game and then come back. Playing sloppy only make you lose more elo. Alright, that's all my tips for now. If you find this helpful or not, please share it in the comments, subscribe and drop a like. If you want to see these tips live in action, I stream almost daily at twitch.tv/TENAXIS. Come by and say hi. And good luck with your climb. Bye.